Good, happy Wednesday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, first responders, communities come together for National Night Out. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Shelley Walcott.
Founder of the Riverbank House Addiction Recovery Program for Men. Are you exhausted by addiction? Are you discouraged by expensive drug rehab programs that don't work? Do you have a loved one who continues to relapse after a standard 28-day program? I invite you to investigate the Riverbank House. The Riverbank House is a science and evidence-based approach to addiction recovery and offers the best possible solution. Visit our website, download our 4 guiding principles, and see that real recovery is possible.
Parents like Nicole Jones say she knows why her kids love National Night Out.
They love the fire trucks and they like the bounce houses.
But Jones says her reason for bringing them to this annual event is for them to get to know some of the first responders who serve their community.
And they're always great. The fire department, the police department, they're always great when they come here.
National Night Out is now in its 34th year. Today's event was held at the Boys and Girls Club in Nashua and featured everything from games and face painting to police and fire department demonstrations. One organizer says it's about promoting mutual understanding.
There's still a need to build camaraderie, solidarity within the community, especially with the changing ethnicity that every area in New Hampshire is going through, but particularly here in the southern part of the state.
Some kids took part in a youth academy to learn more about the job of police officers.
And did it give you a better understanding of what police do every day?
Yeah, I did. Really, it helped a lot.
To be a police is not easy. You have to go through hard things. You never know what to expect when you stop somebody.
Governor Chris Sununu says it's one of the most important community events he attends all year.
Just a great way to say thank you and give back a little bit.
And a number of other departments across the state also took part in the 34th annual National Night Out.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Very cool indeed, and a cool event as well. Dog dies after being found in hot car in Boston. Let's take a listen to this video from WCVB Boston.
Time outside and at the beach. I'm Dr. Barbara Masser, emergency medicine physician at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. Find out how you can have fun in the sun while staying out of the emergency room this season at wcvb.com/health.
Call to police was made around 4 in the afternoon. A dog in a hot vehicle on Burrough Street in Jamaica Plain. It was too late.
It's a horrible tragedy, and unfortunately a dog did lose its life today from being left in a hot car.
A male neutered pit bull, 4 to 5 years old, left in a pickup truck with California plates. The temperature outside in the low 80s. The animal was rushed to Angel Memorial Medical Center.
Unfortunately, by the time the dog arrived, within a minute, his heart stopped beating.
It happened right where Katie Eno was walking her pit bull Pippa and Gypsy, her Jack Russell.
It's very unacceptable. I mean, my dogs are like my kids, and I mean, if you can't take care of an animal, you shouldn't have them.
It's 89 degrees on the floor of the van. And the sun's not even hitting it right now.
Animal Control Officer Chris Hudson says it takes less than 20 minutes in a hot car for a dog to overheat.
If you wouldn't want to sit there, you wouldn't want to put your dog or any other pet or your child in that same situation.
The pit bull victim of heat stroke may have been left in that truck for 2.5 hours.
I was actually out with my dogs all day today. I'm sorry I wasn't here. If I'd been here, I live right here, I could have done something. The more that we can educate and make sure people are aware that I know your dog loves you, maybe you don't want to leave your dog home alone, but they would be better off at home.
Investigators are not releasing the dog owner's name, but he is from California and is now working here. Tonight, that man is facing felony animal cruelty charges. If convicted, those charges carry a fine plus up to 7 years in prison. Live in Jamaica Plain, Jorge Quiroga, WCVB. Mr.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Landlord runs over tenant with tractor, deputies say. An Acton man is facing aggravated assault charges after deputies said he ran over a woman he was renting an apartment to with a tractor. Deputies were called to Dennis Lane in Acton Monday night after a caller reported hearing gunshots, screaming, and a tractor. Investigators said earlier in the day Leslie Dennis, 64, contacted the sheriff's department and reported that 2 female tenants he was planning to evict were digging up plants in his backyard. Deputies said one of the tenants continued to dig up the plants Monday evening with her adult son. The sheriff's deputy department said Dennis got upset, got his tractor, and drove at them in a threatening manner. The woman's son hit Dennis with a shovel. Dennis then struck him with the tractor and ran over the female tenant, breaking her hip, deputies said. The woman was taken to Southern Maine Health Care in Sanford for treatment. Dennis was arrested and released on $500 bail. Shirks versus shale to keep oil prices capped at 50 in third quarter, experts say. Growth in U.S. oil production is slowing, but will continue to blunt OPEC's effort to cut supply and normalize globe investors, keeping benchmark price capped at around 50 a barrel this quarter, according to a CNBC poll of energy strategists, traders, and economists. President Trump not very happy with Russia sanctions bill, says Tillerson. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Also facing escalating tensions with Russia, President Putin has responded to new U.S. sanctions by forcing drastic reductions in U.S. embassy staff. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega has the latest on that. And Cecilia, Putin is retaliating even before President Trump has signed that sanctions legislation.
Yeah, this is a direct retaliation for those sanctions. George Vladimir Putin appeared on Russian state TV yesterday to say that that there will be an expulsion of hundreds of U.S. diplomatic personnel in that country. We're talking about more than 700 people here. That would cut the embassy staff down to just 455 people. That's the same number of Russian personnel working in this country. Moscow also seized 2 U.S. diplomatic properties in Russia. Russia is saying, hey, look, we will respond in kind here. Now, we know that these sanctions were payback for Russia's election meddling. We also know that the president was not happy about them. He'd been critical about this legislation, George, but he is expected to sign it at some point soon.
And to see a fresh start at the White House this morning, the new White House Chief of Staff, John Kelly, being sworn in this morning at the White House after the president fired Reince Priebus late Friday afternoon.
What a week it was, George. So, yes, John Kelly gets sworn in this morning. He is expected to then attend his first cabinet meeting as chief of staff. But look, George, the big question heading into this week for this West Week, can a new chief of staff be the one to bring some calm to the chaos that is still enveloping this West Wing here, George?
And we know there have been a lot of leaks. The president has been enraged by leaks out of the White House, also by the government more generally. And the attorney general is embattled Attorney General, expected to take action on that this week.
Well, exactly, George. Embattled Attorney General Jeff Sessions has an active investigation into leaks. We are told that we could hear a result, at least an update on that investigation at some point soon. But look, we know this is going to also be one of task number 1 for John Kelly coming in, looking into the problem of leaks here in Washington, specifically to this White House, George.
Okay.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Wednesday and see you back here later on today. Goodbye, everyone.